It says
I
it's
don't know.
starting.
There it is.
Okay.
Oh, look. Where are we at?
I
Something
don't know.
happened. It went weird.
Hello, this is Krista and Christina from HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services.
I forgot to hook up the big camera.
You did. But that's okay. That's
Oops.
okay. Just
Oops.
try to do a thing. Okay.
There we go. There we go. I forgot to put the big camera on. My head, as you can hear from my voice, I have a little bit of a cold. So I'm not firing on all cylinders, shall we say, right this second. But I will get more coffee and we'll be good to go.
Yes, we will. All right. So, as I said, Christina Rue, HLC Bookkeeping and Office Services.
How are ya?
The purpose of Saturday Solutions is to talk about things that our clients are talking to us about, or things that have been in the news that we think might be worth talking about with you guys.
Correct.
So we're going to recap last week's. So last week we talked about the first Saturday of every month we do what's called Off the Bookshelf.
Yes, we do.
Because you're to be constantly doing professional education for yourself. You don't have to go to courses and sign up for all these expensive stuff. Read a book, people. Well, there's tons of information out there.
Yeah, and like professional education, you can do that for your personal life as well, your spiritual life as well.
That's right.
And you're just kind of investing in you as the whole person.
That's right.
So there's your professional track, your home track, your spiritual track. So that's something to keep in mind. Professional ed is all around.
That's right. That's right. And we talked about Miracles Happen, which is the Mary Kay Ash, founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics book. Because she was a entrepreneur when women weren't being entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to learn there. All right. And then we talked about the back to school budget. You should have a budget for that. Perhaps practicing school to get your kids back in that mode. And then
how to save on school supplies.
Right. And then we also talked about public speaking, because as senior managers and marketing people and business owners, you're going to talk a lot. So we're started a little 2 to 3 part series on public speaking. So the first thing, well, I guess we could continue the public speaking. We could do that first.
Could do that. We're out of order from what I typed, though. Just so you know.
Oh, never mind. I'll go back to
Just
order.
saying.
Okay. Value pricing. This is Christina's. Go ahead.
Okay. So value pricing. I have had conversations probably within the last 2 or 3 weeks with multiple clients who are afraid to charge too much. Where's the quote? Afraid to charge too much. Okay, here's the thing. People can look in the phone book or look online and find anybody to do something cheaper than what you're going to offer. It's just that simple. There's people who do very low pricing just to get people in the door. There's people who do very low pricing because they're brand new. So these are things you have to consider when you're setting your price. If you've been doing what you've been doing for 20 years, you should not be the lowest price on the internet, because that experience means something. And you're communicating that.
And you're more efficient.
Correct, because you've kind of done everything the wrong way already.
I like to say we've learned.
Yes, we've learned from our experience. So, and then there's some, and unfortunately this is sometimes a woman thing, where we don't value ourselves enough, so we don't think we're worth that. And I'm here to say you are. If you are confident and you know what you're doing, and this doesn't have to be a self-fulfilling, oh, shouldn't I charge this or whatever.
No.
ask your clients if they're satisfied
Do
with what
some
you do
market
for them.
research. What is the
Exactly.
industry standards?
Yeah. And you can do local standards
Right.
versus national. Like national people who do what we do charge twice as much as what we charge. However, we know our market in this area, what is reasonable. So though I might be worth $400 an hour, I'm not going to charge that because I know my area and my market. So that you have to kind of find that happy place. You know what you're worth, and you are within your market pricing. So it's an art to find the right amount.
Yeah. And some resources to help you with is the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Yep.
You can put in pretty much any type of worker, and then you can break it down by region.
Correct.
And then that'll give you an idea what everybody in the area is charging.
And it even tells you what the difference is between somebody who starts and somebody who's been doing it 20 years. And guess what? The person doing it 20, 25 years gets paid more. So this is me telling you, you should be evaluating this. And like another thing to think about is the whole inflation factor.
Yes.
If you have not raised prices in this economy, you're losing money. It's just that simple. And like, it's not because we want to raise prices. It's because we have to.
Yeah, because everything's costing us more.
Correct.
Office supplies is getting more and more expensive. And of course, we've all noticed how the 10 case or 10 reams in a box of paper is now 8, but they're charging the same amount.
Exactly. And like, this is also where you have to realize if you are running a business, you're not just paying for today.
That's right.
You're paying for tomorrow and 3 months from now.
For your pension.
And 3 years from now.
That has to be wrapped in your pricing.
Because you have a future and you want your business to be here to service those clients as they grow.
That's right.
And if you're only covering today's costs, you will be out of business. So that's something else that you need to consider and talk about. And I know I'm getting on the whole preaching business worth thing. I know. But you're worth it.
All right. Now let's talk about HR. I love human resources.
We went from such an exciting topic.
I find this very exciting. And like, I know we've talked in the past about coworkers and dealing with different types of personalities and all that. However, I do think this is a topic we should talk about a lot because you come into contact with people every day of your life.
You are sometimes with your coworkers more than your spouse.
That's right. That's right. And we've talked in the past about giving grace because sometimes they're dealing with things you don't know about. But one of the things I have done, because I'm getting over the cold that Christina now has, but
say thank you to Christopher.
I know. So, but when you're tired and sick, everything annoys you. Can we just be honest here?
Amen, sister.
You know what I mean? So coworkers will annoy you more when you're not feeling your best. So one of the things I do to cope is when I keep my mouth shut. You know, I don't necessarily say what I want to say because I'm not thinking clearly.
That makes one of us.
Yes, true. And then second of all, if I start to get annoyed, I'm like, wait a second, let's take an inventory of this coworker overall. You know, refresh what items they either do for you or you appreciate about them and get yourself into a place of gratefulness.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, it's a whole new world.
Yep.
So I just want everybody to take it. I know kindness is a big thing now. Everybody's like, oh, be kind, oh, be kind. Of course you have to be kind. But there's a mindset to being kind. And you have to get yourself in it when you're not there.
Well, and there's a self-recognition.
Correct.
To know when you're not being kind.
That's right. And don't be afraid to apologize.
And
if you did
what?
snap, then you need to apologize for that. Be a bigger person.
You are accountable for your actions. So if you've done something unfair, you apologize.
That's right.
Suck up your pride and apologize.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of tough love there, but you have to be reminded of these things. Because a lot of times when you're the boss, nobody speaks truth to you. Mm-hmm. And that's a problem. Because if you're out of control,
in this office.
No.
we have very many truth tellers.
We do. We do. But seriously, I'm being serious now. You have to take control of yourself when you're not feeling your best.
Yep.
Get into that grateful mindset. All right. I'm done now. Okay.
And we both started preaching.
We did. We did. All right. So then the third thing is public speaking. Mm-hmm. So this is the second part of what we talked about. So let's talk today about preparing your mind, body, and spirit for speaking. Mm-hmm. Because as we know, Christine is a wonderful public speaker. I get myself all tense.
Worked up.
She
works herself up.
Yes, because I don't enjoy it. So I have to get myself in that space. So, Christina, how many times should we practice our speech?
At least 3. At least 3.
And where should we be when we're practicing this speech?
In the front of the room, speaking in front of a mirror at least once or twice. So you're watching your facial expressions as you're saying your speech.
Right, because your face has to match your words.
Correct.
Because that's how you engage an audience. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing a speech on, I'm so excited to tell you about this, but you're like, I'm excited to tell you about this today.
Which speech do you want to go to?
And who are you going to believe?
Exactly. And that is not to say put on a false pretense.
That's right.
It is just saying for you if your excitement, your face should show that excitement.
That's right. Yeah, my level of excitement is much different than Christina's. She literally bounces off walls. My level of excitement is like this. That's as excited as I get. Yes. You know?
Would we say bounce off walls? We probably should say that. I agree.
I think that's fair.
I've done that.
Right. And then some things to help you is don't fight yourself during a speech.
Correct.
Learn, are you a note card person? Mm-hmm. Are you a paper person?
With big print?
Big print.
Yeah, note cards don't work for me because with my rheumatoid arthritis, I can't grip. And I tried to do a speech with note cards and they ended up falling because I couldn't keep a hold of them. Oh, Lord. So you have to know what works for you.
That's right. Set yourself up for success.
Correct.
We talked last week about visual aids. You have to know if where you're going to be has space for visual aids. Do you need an easel? Do you need a chalkboard? Are you projecting a PowerPoint presentation? Have you been in contact with that venue to make sure everything's set up? Do they have extension cords, or is that something I need to bring?
Which we encourage you to always pack your own. Keep it in your car, even if you don't have to take it in. Keep it in your car. So if they're like, oh no, we had another event and they took our 16-foot extension cord. That's okay. I have one in my car.
That's right.
Be prepared.
And hey, it might be those ugly orange ones, but if you need it, you need it.
I personally like the orange ones. They remind me of my childhood. Mm-hmm. Christmas lights everywhere.
All right. So then the other thing is be confident. Mm-hmm. Dress confidently that day. Like my power color is red. That's my favorite color. I feel good when I'm in red.
Business. Color,
yes.
Red.
So I always choose.
The red drape behind us. We didn't even blame that.
I know. So I always choose to wear something with red because that's when I'm at my best.
Correct.
What's your body language? Because especially if this is a speech that talks back and forth, and sometimes you get interesting questions. So I like to practice the, oh, that's interesting face. Mm-hmm. Even though you're like, oh, wow. What did they just say? So you've got to learn these things, especially if this isn't what you do, you have to practice. All right. And then Christina, on what? This is one of your favorite things.
Yes.
On Saturday Night Live, there used to be Stuart Smalley who would give self-affirmations.
Correct. Yeah. So, like, you have to kind of psych yourself up, because if you're going to give a speech, you want to be interesting, informative, keep everybody engaged during it. So, like, that's why I said you should do it at least once or twice in a mirror. Because if you can't even keep yourself engaged,
you got problems.
Yeah. How are you going to keep an audience? So, like, you want to do that. And, like, I do go into the restroom at whatever venue I am before I start. And I'm like, you're going to nail this. You are awesome. Get out there. Speak your mind. And now, do I think people might think I'm crazy if they're in the restroom with me? I'll just be like, oh, my gosh, you're going to love what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, so just believe in yourself and make sure that you are always putting your best foot forward, and that remember you're there because they wanted to hear either your experiences,
the topic,
your knowledge,
that's right,
whatever. So that's a privilege. That's a privilege, and we should be thankful for that. So, like, you want to be thankful for your audience, kind for your audience, spirited for your audience, all those things.
Right. And be aware of your body, in the sense of, if you're getting tense, roll your neck, get that out of the way. Deep breathing, because a lot of times when people speak, when they get nervous, their breathing goes off.
Yes, and we just did at WBN this past week. Rose Morozovich from Diamond Venue Salon in Pittsburgh, wonderful place. She does trigger therapy, and so she was giving us tips and hints about how we should be working on our not only our posture, but our breathing and relaxation. And I'm like, it's awesome. So if you haven't been to a trigger therapist, call Rose.
Right. And always have water at the podium. Because when you talk, your mouth gets dry. You just need it. It's as simple as that. Don't fight it. All right. And then also, I pray before I give my speech that I'm imparting the knowledge that this particular audience needs to hear. Because you never know, again, what people are going to and what's going to talk to them. And let's face it, there's 1,000 ways to present different topics.
Correct.
So I just ask God to place the words that are the most meaningful to this group of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Those are our 3 items for this week. Our website,
www.hlcbookkeeping.com. And here's our logo and phone number, because, I forgot the big camera. So there you go. Can you see it? See it.
And then our phone number's there.
Number's there.
Email is office@yourhlc.com.
Yeah.
So feel free to contact us if there's any particular topics you would like us to discuss. And other than that, have a wonderful day.
Yes, enjoy the sunshine.
All right. Bye-bye.